Oh boy. Well, this is a type of video that I haven't made in a long time. Actually, no. It hasn't been an extremely long time, but it's been a little while. So, I thought that it would be kind of fun to go through a lot of my stuff that I have in my game room, which, because, I have so much stuff behind me. And obviously, if I go through every single item that's on my shelves, it will take a literal century. Okay, we'll just say century to be to get through literally every single piece of it. So, what I thought I'd do is I'm gonna go through and I'll skip each portion, of course, but I'm going to grab some of my most treasured items from my shelf, grab them, and go over them accordingly. I think that'll be the best way to do this because I've done full room tours before. Several times, in fact. I've done room tours several times, showcasing everything that I have in my room. But this time, I think I'm just going to do stuff that is, some of the best ones that I have on my shelf today. So, without further ado, let's get started with the first item. Here we go. All right, so here's the deal with these ones. So I say the first items, which of course you guys can probably see what I took off. They're in no particular order, really. Just stuff that I have accumulated that is worth both money and just care. Okay. All right, so I'll get the backstory on some of these because a lot of these are not even. I was supposed to put them back in my normal area, and I did not. So let me just put these two up. If you're wondering what those are the Wii Sports Resort, Wii Sports, and Mario Kart Wii. All right. So if that gives you an idea of what exactly this one is, then yeah. So I bought a Wii 5 or 6 years ago from my fiance's ex-friend for $100. I bought the Wii from her. And it came with 18 or 20 games, which I've sold a few of them at yard sales. But the main one that I did not sell was this one, Rhythm Heaven Fever. Now, I just want to point out, I appraised a lot of this stuff. I looked it up online and looked at eBay prices. This game is worth $250 to $300. Okay, why? How? I have no idea. I don't know why this game is so popular. Why it's so sought after, I truly do not know. But this is apparently a very big collector's dream to have for the Wii. Why? I have no clue. I have no idea. And I ended up getting it with a Wii for $100. This is the part of the 18 games that I received. So this game is staying in my collection. And if you're asking what the point is for all of the stuff that I've kept over the years, to be honest with you, I've always wanted stuff like this as a kid. This entire room of stuff that I have has been a dream of mine since I was a kid. Having an entire game set up, which is what I have now. If I saw this as my 13, 14-year-old self, I would probably just die where I stood. If my 13, 14-year-old self could see the stuff I have on my desk right now, it'd be extremely insane. So the next games here, the next one is Family Guy Back to the Multiverse. So they discontinued this game for the Xbox 360, of course. Never released it anywhere else. PS3, of course, but in later consoles. So this game wasn't really very popular in terms of reviews. I had it and I sold it when I got my Xbox One. I traded in a whole bunch of Xbox 360 games. So I got this game recently and it was $60. And this is the only thing about it is that I have fond childhood memories of this game. So I kept the game because it's just fond childhood memories of it. And I bought it again and I rebought it again so I could have the same memories. So that's pretty much about it. Next game. There is no case for this game, unfortunately, because I ordered it from GameStop. So I do need to find somebody who is selling just the case. But this is X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged, which is, one of the best 360 games that they've released, and one of the best Wolverine games that's also released. And it's a hack and slash game that's way better than the movie. You guys have probably seen it. This game was also like $70 for the 360 game. I haven't played that game. I haven't played it. My 360 is sitting over there on the shelf. It's right there, actually. That's my 360 right there, and I have done absolutely nothing with it. So these next two games, all right. You know what? Let me do it from like least valuable, but still valuable, to most valuable. So these are the last two that I have here. So this is Deadpool for the PS4. Now this was a discontinued game off of the digital list. As of a couple years ago, they lost the rights, I believe, so they discontinued it. And I still have it. I have the physical copy of the PS4 version. This game now goes for $60 to $70 as a used. Like it's still used because they don't make any more copies of it. And yeah, I still have it. I really like Deadpool for PS4. Like, a lot of people actually don't like the game, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I think Deadpool for the PS4 is a magnificent game. It's a fun game. Does it get repetitive? Yeah, but to be honest with you, like, Nolan North's Deadpool just is very entertaining, so I can't get enough of it, to be honest. Last game. This is arguably this game is up there with the Rhythm Heaven Fever as probably one of the most it's a sought after game, and it's one of the most valuable games that I have in my collection, and my fiance got it for me for $70 just a couple of years ago. And that game is Marvel Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition for the Xbox 360. Now, you're wondering what's so special about the Gold Edition. Well, there's DLCs for Marvel Ultimate Alliance that released for the Xbox 360. I believe it launched for the PS2 as well. No, it couldn't launch for PS2. On the newer versions of the consoles, PS3 and 360, they released DLCs for them. However, they lost the rights to them, so they released gold editions before the rights were lost, and here you go. The DLCs are in there. So after a bit, the DLCs were removed, and they lost the rights. The game was also pulled from there once Nintendo bought the rights to Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is why we got 3, which is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is not as good. It does not hold a candle up to what it used to be, personally. But the Gold Edition game, this thing is worth $250 to like $350, depending on where you're looking at. And I don't know how somebody on eBay did not know what they had. He sold this for $70, and I played it once, and it's a Gold Edition. I played it once, and sure enough, it had literally all of the DLC characters. Hulk was in it. Venom was in it, and it was great. I liked it. I loved every minute of it. I've only played it once, and I personally don't even want to open it up again because of how much fun I had, and I don't want to mess it up. So, yeah. So that's very, very... those are probably my most valuable video games that I have. I have some over here on the left that I was taking out for it, but they're not really valuable, like Dante's Inferno, Transformers for the 360, Ratatouille for the 360, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. But I was just gathering stuff together for thing. But anyways, on to the next item. So I've announced on this channel a few times, as you can see behind me, which I will get to later. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Okay, I started watching wrestling again for the first time and forever. It's been like it was years that since I watched wrestling and anything, and I literally just got back into it once Vince McMahon left the company, and I started watching again like 2022, 2023. I started keeping up more with it. So, as a big wrestling fan that I am, I decided that for the first time ever, I went on WWE's website and I started buying their products. So, you can see in the background, I have the World Heavyweight Championship belt right there, and the Undisputed WWE Championship right there. Those are both replica belts. Yeah, the $500-$600 belts. There they are. There's 2 of them. Like, those are some of the best things. I can grab that one right there, but that one's gonna be a bit of a pain because I have a whole bunch of other wrestling toys behind it, which is what I'm talking about here today. I have a Rhea Ripley signed toy that's still in the plastic. This is probably one of my favorite toys that I've gotten. I bought this online, okay? Because the meet and greets to meet them is double the price for this toy, all right? I would much rather pay $300 for this toy while it's signed to be sent to me while it's in the plastic over paying $600 to $900 for a meet and greet to bring a toy that I have, which is right there. I'm not kidding. That is the new Rhea Ripley toy. Oh, you can't even see it. That is the new Rhea Ripley toy that is just released. That personally, I would also like to get personally hand signed, which is why it's sitting there on my shelf. Because if I ever go to an event and I get a chance to do a meet and greet, possibly if I ever get it, that's the toy that I'm going to be bringing with me for Rhea Ripley to sign. So I can have a toy that she signed online that was sent to me. One of her older model toys when she was the SmackDown Women's Champion. Before the title switched over to this one. This one is the new toy. The Rhea Ripley toy. Brand new. This is the one I'm going to have her sign whenever I decide to go to whatever. This was Elimination Chamber 2024. So this was a couple years ago. So I've opened a few wrestling toys already because, I got bored one day. But that's besides the point. Oh, other than that, let's move on to the next item. All right, so we're getting over into the soap territory now. And arguably, this is probably going to be the most embarrassing part of the video, okay? The soap part. All right? I tell people I collect soaps, the Dr. Squatch soaps, which you can see a lot of collections over here, and you'll see which one's missing. But a lot of collections that I have over here, the Star Wars collection. I have the very first edition Star Wars collection up there, which is going to be a pain in the ass to get out. I'm just going to be honest with you. The very first edition, in which it was the long and wide one, which I can post a quick photo of it here. The long, wide one before they went to the squared version like this. This was the first edition version of the box that released for the Star Wars Collection 2. So when they released this one, they re-released the Star Wars Collection 1 with the same type of box, which is the big, square like this. I have the originals one, where it's a long horizontal box, which apparently is actually sought after, funnily enough. I looked it up, and that box up there, the original, goes for double the price of what that goes. So I think it's like $60 or something for the whole 4 horizontal box. Please tell me how. Not only that, but so is this. This is also sought after. This is now like $60 for 2 soaps. So if you want to buy the box included with the soaps, you gotta go pay $60 because they discontinued this box. So, and unfortunately, these were my favorite 2 soaps that Dr. Squatch has ever released, the Batman bricks. So you have the original one. They smell so good, man. Like, oh my God, the Batman brick. This is one of the best bricks they've ever released, and they discontinued them. They discontinued them. The Batman brick and the Riddler Enigma. These are the best 2 bricks, in my honest to God opinion, that they've ever released. Which is why it will always stay in this box. I have 2 extra bars of soap in the box that I don't even want to use personally. I don't even want to touch them. Don't even want to touch them. I don't want to use them because they're so odd commodity now that if you just want to buy the soap without the boxes, they're like $20 a bar. Look it up. I'm not even kidding. They're expensive for 1 bar of soap. So this next one, okay? I thought about bringing my phone camera for this one. All right, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And actually, you know what? I am gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna record on my phone for this one, so that way we can see here. All right. So welcome to my phone view. Yeah, welcome to the phone view. So I don't want to pull this out for reasons being because there's so many in here. So to start off, these are the new Batman soaps. And I have those 2. And I'm not a big fan of them. Personally. I don't think they smell as good as the original ones. But they re-released these. This is the Dirt Murderer. Oh, but wait a minute. The ones they just released, if people follow Dr. Squatch, this is what they released recently. The Dirt Destroyer. What's different, you may ask? Oh, I don't know. Maybe they have those flying heads on it. Yeah, that was the bar of soap. And they changed the name from Murderer to Destroyer and removed the heads out of the soap. It smells the exact same, but now this soap is now rebranded and renamed, which means this bar, they're going to try to tell you it's this bar, which it is. But if you want this, they don't sell that anymore. So, could be an odd commodity in the future. I guess nobody really noticed it yet. But when I first got the soaps in, I was like, what's so different about them? And oh, look at that. I guess they didn't want any violent head rippings on their thing here. So, let's go in here a little bit further in the shelf, okay? Because there's plenty more where that came from. There's like 4 more back here. So, this is the Godzilla and Kong soaps that they also released. And these 2 in here is the Lord of the Rings soap and the Cheetos soap. So, this one smells really good. I like the one ring rinse. I've used it already. The Cheetos the hot Cheetos soap, it stinks, dude. I'm never going to use it. Oh god, it stinks. It's horrible. But the other good one is the Bricked Up soap, which was they partnered with Trojan. I know what you're wondering. Yes. They gave you condoms with it. They grouped condoms with this bar of soap. And I have it in my car, right? It's in my middle console because when I opened my mail, I just threw it in there because I just didn't want to it's too late for condoms for me. That was too late a long time ago, all right? Like, I had to think about that like over a year ago, and it's too late now. What do I need condoms for, you know? Like, I already got a kid, and I mean, you know, and I might be another one soon, you never know. So, yeah, I left it in my car. It's still in my middle console, so I don't feel like getting it because it's kind of wet outside. So, but if I grab it, I'll show it to you guys later. Yeah, I'll show it to you guys later. So, as you can see now, there's a bar of soap missing in the corner. But also all those other bars of soaps that I have all lined up on the top. If you want me to point them off for you, I'll do it, okay? Drunken Pumpkin, which apparently is a sought after one. I had no idea. That's a Patrick Star one. That one is Cowabunga Rinse, which is a Ninja Turtles pizza flavored one. I'm not even joking. That's Adamantium Scrub, which is Wolverine's. Diamond Scrub, right there, Minecraft. Nautical Nonsense, which is SpongeBob. And then you have the Fight Scrub, which is a Fight Club soap. Bronco Brick, which is, they did a thing where you can win a Ford Bronco. I didn't even open the box to see if I won, and it's over now, so I don't even know. Then I got Chalky Milk right next to it, that one right there. Then so we go down more. We got King of the Bricks and Raptor Rush, which is a T-Rex and Raptor one. We got Spidey Suds, which is Spider-Man, which is also a sought after bar. It doesn't even smell that good. I don't even want to use it. And I got Force Fresh, Beskar Tar, and that is Nightfall Nectar. That one right there. So, I had another soap next to it. And this is where we get to the embarrassing part of the soaps, okay? I just want to point out, all right, I've been collecting Dr. Squatch soaps for the last, 4 or 5 years now, okay? I started out, I have 4 boxes of soap in my bathroom full of Dr. Squatch soaps. And I have maybe 5 or 6 to maybe 10 of the original packaging soaps before they went to the newer packaging, which is what they look like now. I collect soaps, all right? I like collecting the soaps, and I only use the ones that, I buy 2 of each, and I bought more. They released the Marvel villain one with, Venom and Thanos. I bought that one. I did. It hasn't arrived yet, but I bought a 4-pack. 2 for collecting, 2 for using. So, 2 is going to be sitting in here, and I will never use, and this is a collecting one. I will not use it, period. And I was very mad when they released this soap because I knew of how much people are going to fucking shit their dick over. This is the Sydney's Bathwater Bliss soap, okay? This is the embarrassing part of the video. Certificate Authenticity, bar 2,154. Now, I'm not going to lie, okay? I'm never going to use this soap. This soap is going to sit there on my shelf just for me to say that I have the bar soap, because I have, besides I think a couple, which is the root beer soaps, and they have another one that I don't have. It's a root beer bar, and there's another one, and I can't remember the name of it right now, that I don't have and I would love to have. And it's hard to find it unless somebody sells it in like a bundle with like the other 30 bars of soaps they have, and they charge $1,500. Please tell me why. But this soap, I had to buy off somebody, okay? And I was very, very unhappy with the fact that I had to buy it off, because I tried to do it to the cart and it sold out within a second, right? It kept me in a cart for 4 hours and it sold out within a second. So it kept me in the cart, but I couldn't check it out. So I was very mad that I couldn't get this soap, because it wasn't fair towards everybody, because they allowed they didn't even add a proof you're a robot option until they ordered, until like after the fact that it was already sold out by bots, by bot accounts. So all the bot accounts are selling the soaps now for the certificate of authenticity, which, you know, has her sign it, whatever. You can tell me anytime, whatever. For $300. Yeah, I'm not kidding. This soap was $300. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. This was the most expensive bar of soap I've ever paid for. Okay, this was $300 bar of soap. And I don't know how true this one is, but Walmart has, like, I don't know what sellers are selling it, but they'll have these bars there on Walmart without this for $20. I don't know if it's true or not. I thought about ordering it and seeing if it was the correct one, but I have no idea. This is the embarrassing portion. All right, I just want to point out, this bar will sit there on my shelf. All right, if you want to be honest with you, it actually doesn't smell that bad. Like, it actually doesn't smell too bad. But I'm still not going to use the soap. Like, I've only got one bar, because I'm not paying $600 for 2 bars of soap. Like, if I wasn't a collector of the soaps, I definitely would not have cared about this bar. But because I collect them, I just had to have it for my collection because of how much of a limited edition it was. If they say it's limited, extremely limited edition, to where they're never going to release the soap ever again, I will buy the soap to collect it. I'm just going to be honest. I don't want to use the soap. I have no interest in doing anything with the soap. It's literally going to sit on my shelf over here. And when I move to a new place, or if I move to a new place, it's going to be sitting on that shelf. And that's where it's going to sit at, probably for the rest of its days. That's it. These soaps, like a lot of those soaps, have been sitting there for the last 2 years. I've had soaps in here for the last 2 years. These I don't use. These are like, no use. Like, I will refuse to use these soaps. Period. Not use them. And if you want me to prove it to you, I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Hold on. Right back. Hold on. Okay. All right. So, this is going to take a minute, probably. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. But I will point this out, right? For the sake of the video, I'm going to point this out, okay? For the sake of the video. Well, we'll get to that in later. So, let's start with the small box. How's that? All right. So these have my least amount of soaps in the box. The soap I'm using right now is Dirt Destroyer, actually. I'm using Dirt Destroyer right now. I like that soap. That's actually pretty good soap. It smells pretty good. This box, I have 2 of the Star Wars soap savers. One of them is actually, they're actually limited edition. They don't release these very often. And when they re-released them, I bought it because they had it grouped with, this is the wash, and there's another one. I have it in here. Oh, and Zen Cleanse. Zen Cleanse. They had it grouped with those, so I had to buy 2 because they only released them in a 2-pack. They released them in a 4. So I had to buy 2 of those to get 2 of those and 2 of those. So they gave me 2 of these. So this has the King Kong and the Grime Reaper, which smells also pretty good, soap in this box. So that's the small box. These are like my most recent soaps I've gotten because of how full the boxes have been lately. So let's go ahead. Let's open the second one, shall we? Now these are the bigger ones, right? I have a total of like 150 soaps. So I had the Dirt Destroyer soap in here. So the Dirt Destroyer soap was in here, but here you go. This is part one, or part two, I guess, of all the different kinds of soaps. So there's the Trojan ones. There's two more right here. The two condom ones. The other two, there's four of the Star Wars ones. Then the two Nectar ones that I also received. Nectar Nightfall. Call of Duty soap. Here is the Frosty Peppermint one. Oh, there's another Trojan one. I didn't even know that was there. Pepsi. Not Pepsi. Pizza. Why did I say pizza? Wolverine bar. Minecraft bar. Another basic bar they gave me for some reason. Have no idea why. That's one of them. I have to move it a certain way to close it because, you know, they're all trapped in the thing. And I need to move some of the soaps from the small box in this one since I cleared out one space for it. So, alright, hold on. Alright, let me see here. Let me find the... There we go, this will work. It's a pain to get these out off the shelf. I just want to point that out. I have them on the top shelf in the bathroom because of how much room they take. So, and if there was any doubt that I have not collected these things for years, this is the oldest box I have. So, in here, my voice, I have the Game of Thrones one, which the Game of Thrones box sits... Oh God, knocked my pillow down. The Game of Thrones box sits right there. You see it? Right there. That's the Game of Thrones one. I'll knock this shelf over. Alright. So in this one, I have all the Harry Potter ones. This one's a Chalky Milk, I think. Yep. Chalky Milk. Right there. And see these boxes right here? These are the original packaging. I have six. I have six of those. So here's Pine Tar in the original packaging. So these are also, as I said, these are sought after soaps. They don't sit on my shelf though, but I'm never going to use them because of the original packaging. The people sell these things for a lot of money. Greek yogurt smells pretty good, but there's so many in here that I have. This one is Birchwood Breeze in the newer packaging, unfortunately, but there's all that 4th of July one. No, this is Brick of the Dead. Sorry. I had that over here somewhere too. But that's the third box. And then the fourth box. Ugh. The fourth box. Oh my God. Did I bend that? Oh, dude. I thought I broke my chair. I almost lost my mind. I was like, no. The chair was so expensive. Alright. Final box of Dr. Squatch soaps. Okay. Here we go. So, this one has the original and Collection 2 Star Wars soaps right here. More Mandalorian soaps, which is just the Force Fresh, which is it's just a reskin of a soap they already have. The Jurassic Park ones, the last two Batman bars that I have. I love the smell of this soap, man. The Batman soap's just... It's so wonderful. This is the Burkhard Brick, which I didn't buy two of these. I didn't buy two of these. Well, this is going to the shelf. I didn't buy two of those. I only bought one. Okay, I gotta make sure I don't use that. The Bliss Brick. I didn't buy two of these either. Oh my God. Why didn't I buy two of these? Oh no. No. I didn't buy two of those. Oh my God. That is crazy. I can't believe I didn't. Werewolf wash, I have that. No, I don't. Guys, I can't. Alright. This video has now come to a realization halt here that I have not bought Black Hole. I don't have two of these either. Oh my god. You gotta be joking me. Area 51 brick. Didn't buy two of these either. Unless there's more behind here. There might be more behind here. You know, I'm just gonna keep them here just in case. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk it, man. Count Sudgel. I got that. The Freedom Fresh. I have that. The Energy Bar. Which also smells pretty good. I thought I bought two of those. But I do not remember. Okay. I have taken all these soaps out of here. There is no two Cindy Slinny bars. Okay? I'm not that crazy. Right? I wanted to collect it. And that's all that I wanted to do. Was collect the bar soap. But I can't believe how many bars I've now taken out of this box. Because I thought I bought two of, and I did not. That's crazy. That's some crazy realization right there, I tell you. Crazy realization. But my soap collection is probably one of my favorite things, personally. That is probably one of my favorite things that I have in terms of collecting of all the stuff that I got. So, boy, what's next, Zach? How much stuff do you have? Oh my god. I'm about to show you. So, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video before, but I am not a Pokemon fan. I'm not. I actually do not like Pokemon. However, I do like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was probably my favorite thing in my junior and senior year of high school. That's like what my friends played. A friend of mine played that senior year every single day in one of our classes. So I collected a lot of stuff. So I collected cards, and I had a lot of my cards that were thrown away. And so I went on a buying spree, and I bought a whole bunch of them back. There's two sarcophaguses right there. I have another thing that's right there. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh! That's two, actually. Two stacked, one right there, one right there. That's a Harry Potter wand, which I'll get to that later. I think that's about it. There might be more. Most of my collection, though, is right here. Most of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff is right here, and I have a binder that's right there in the bottom of the bookshelf behind that bag of random Legos. It's right there behind that, and that pile of boxes with my PlayStations and games on it. So, these two cards, there's a story behind them. This is the Dark Magician, which is in the 3D, like the 3D swirl version, I believe is what it's called. The 3D swirl version, which is one of the most valuable Dark Magician cards that you can receive ever. And I'm not joking. So for these cards, I put that one in a sleeve and stuck it in here. So this is where it sits in this. And on the back side, this is a card that angers me. The Dark Magician is worth like maybe $200, $300. This card was Gaia the Dragon Champion. But it was I think it was a secret rare, right? Secret rare, something like that. But it's something that you didn't see very often. This card was worth $1,200. Not even joking. It was a $1,200 card. And this is why they were the most valuable two cards that I had after buying several hundred cards from Amazon and Walmart combined. Plus, I had a whole bunch of decks and stuff out of the holiday boxes that they sold. They had random cards and random packs in it from Walmart. So I bought these, and this is what two of the cards came in. Unfortunately, they re-released Yugi's decks. So guess what happened to the value of this card? Now it's less than this Dark Magician. This Dark Magician is less than what it was before because of the re-released decks, because they made more. So unfortunately, these two cards, I haven't appraised any of the other cards in here, but I appraised these two like a couple months ago. But unfortunately, these are not as you know, but for a time, these are probably my most valuable Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which is why they're in here. and they are kept safe somewhere in my room. So, and I'm not gonna say where, and I'll skip that part where you saw it. So, anyways, move on to the next one. All right. So, I'd already discussed the world title belts, which is what I thought about discussing next. But I decided I've already talked about them, so I didn't really like bring them down or anything. Especially that belt. That belt is like almost 10 fucking pounds. That belt is 10 pounds. I'm not even joking. It's 8 to 10 pounds. It's heavy. That one is like 4 or 5. It's like half the weight. It's not that bad. But I've already talked about them, why I got them, because I never had them as a kid, and I thought they were really cool to have. So I got the replica belts for that. So I don't really have to discuss those very much. Other than that, more Yu-Gi-Oh cards down here at the bottom. I buy 2, same thing like I do the soaps with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'll buy 2, and like those 2 are the same sarcophagus. No, the bottom shelf down here, there are 2 sarcophaguses. There's one like right there where I'm pointing at, and there's one right there. That one's not in plastic. That one is. That one has cards in it. That one has the original cards in it. So it's just like a flip flop. Same right here. I have some on the shelf right here. One's not in plastic. One is. Like it's just I buy 2 so I can have one to collect and one to to have. So out of the stuff on the shelf, you may see what's missing back here because I have a whole bunch. Like I have like Star Killer, the Gaming Legends. They had that randomly. A bunch of other Star Wars toys that's just sitting back there. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. Star Wars Lego sets down here at the bottom that I've made. Just a whole lot. But I found this. This is what I was talking about earlier. Okay, I found this at Barnes and Noble. We went shopping. We went to the beach, and I found this at Barnes and Noble. And I've never, ever seen anywhere else of them acknowledging these wands' existence. Now, it's not really that sought after or anything, not that I know of, because I think they still sell it. But I've just never seen anywhere acknowledge the existence of these, period. So, if you're wondering what it is, funnily enough, it has a certificate of authentication with it, for one. Like, it has the authentication certificate. So, but this one happens to be Harry Potter's first wand from episode 1. From part 1, whatever. The Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you're in UK. This right here is his first wand. And when I looked for the longest time, I looked online at maybe there was a site that could explain the reasoning why they went with a different design choice for the wand for Harry. Because I noticed, I don't know if a lot of people noticed it, they probably did, but they never questioned it, but I questioned it. Some people did, but it's pretty much just boils down to it was different director. Who was it? David Yates, I think, who directed episode, was it 3? No, it wasn't David Yates. Whoever did Prisoner of Azkaban decided to have different, creative ideas, whatever. So he changed the wands from the first and second movie to what they are in the third movie. Now they have a Harry Potter, they have a Hermione, and they have a Ron. The Ron one is the one with the broken tip, and the Hermione had like pretty much the same thing with the handle. It's just straight wand, not the ones with the flowers or the vines wrapped around it. But I thought this was such a cool find. It was the only one that I saw on the shelf at Barnes & Noble at the time. I picked it up. I was like, I've never seen this before, and they sell it on the Noble collection, in fact. I don't know if it's a limited time sale. I'm not sure. I don't know if they still sell it now or not. I haven't looked it up recently, but that is definitely one of the coolest finds because I've never seen them acknowledge this wand's existence post episode 2. So it's just very, very weird that it was very cool to see that they sold this wand, and yeah, that's why this wand is just one of my favorites. It's personally one of my favorites, to be honest. So I thought I'd pick it out. So. On to the next thing. So you can definitely see something's missing. Like every time I skip it, you're just gonna see something missing from the shelf. Like I wonder if people can guess what it is. If they're watching this, I wonder if people can guess what it is before I even get to it. But yeah. Anyway, I just received this like a week ago. And so I don't know if you guys watch, of course I did. I had a college channel. This is going to be my Zacextra channel. I'm not putting it on my normal channel. But I don't know if you guys know Raffle Waffles. Okay. All right. Big Zombies YouTuber. All right. Pretty big Zombies YouTuber. I'd say he's definitely up there. So he did a partnership with YouTube's several months ago, and back in December or January, and he was doing the YouTube's toys, and so I got one, and oh god, I've never bought a YouTube's toy before, and I've never really known how exclusive they were. Really, I looked into it, but once you buy them, like on the pre-order stage, that's it. That's it. Like, that's it. That's completely it. So I said, like, I've got to get one. So I got one. So this is the first ever YouTubes I've gotten, and I really like the detail. And I haven't opened it up out of the plastic. It stayed in here, and I haven't removed it. But I was watching Raffle Waffles a lot during this time, for, you know, Black Ops 6, basically. And, like, watching his news and the whiteboard videos and stuff like that. And I really liked it, so I bought it. And it was delivered. It took several months because they're all handcrafted, I believe. So I really wanted it, so I got it. I don't really know what to say. This was my very first YouTubes I ever bought, so I just thought personally it was really cool. So, all right, you see another thing that's missing. It's gonna be kind of funny here, but this is like childhood me. Anyways, this is Stomp. Now I have a few other dinosaurs that are behind me, and it's a T-Rex and a Spinosaurus. It was two T-Rex and a Spinosaurus. I have one T-Rex that I had as a childhood, which actually, let me get it right now. Hold on. All right. So this is probably the most sentimental part of the video here, okay? So these two dinosaurs represent very, like, important parts of my childhood. Okay. So for starters, the Triceratops. Ever since I was a kid, Triceratops was my favorite dinosaur. It still kind of is. I still like dinosaurs this day. So I mean, they're cool as hell, and I like all that nice stuff. So if you see, he's missing a horn. The horn was gone a long time ago. After several hundred times of gluing it, he fought plenty of battles against my Tyrannosaurus Rexes and lost every time. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't lose every time, but the horn kept falling off. But there was this museum that I went to all the time, and my grandmother would take me, and there was this big Triceratops, and I think that's where we got this toy from. Actually, was that museum. And I was terrified of the Triceratops. Loved it, but I was terrified of it. But I called it Stomp, and I think the Triceratops' name was Rosie. I think is what they called it. I think it's Rosie. I don't remember exactly what they called it, but it's decommissioned because it's an older model now. And I'd asked about like visiting because like they brought that Triceratops in storage, but it's no longer to be visited because it's a storage place, so you can't visit it. So I was a little upset about that, but because I just want to see it again because from my childhood, I enjoyed going to the museum and enjoy like seeing the Stomp here. But this Triceratops has been with me throughout my childhood. My dad had it for the longest time when I was a teenager, and then gave it to me when I became an adult. So it was very sentimental for me to have this Triceratops, and missing horn and all is still my favorite. So this holds a lot of sentimental value for me, because it reminds me of like a simpler time, like, you know, going to my grandmother and stuff and going to museums and everything like that, with her, and also with my step grandfather, which, you know, I'll get to that in just a little bit. So, but yeah, this was one of my favorite toys as a kid, and still is. A lot of my other dinosaurs, I don't really care as much about those as much as I do that one. That one's definitely my favorite one. But this one gets a little more sad. So this was, this is my Tyrannosaurus Rex toy that I had. I actually love dinosaurs so much that I had dinosaur toys at my dad's house and I had dinosaur toys at my grandmother's house. So when I went and stayed at my grandmother's house, which unfortunately I don't really have much of a relationship with my grandmother anymore, and it's very sad. Like I had my other channel and like I did a whole lot of stuff, but like stuff has happened since then, and I forgot to put this back in the long box. But I had a lot of stuff that's happened since then, like getting older, and I quit college. I ended up quitting college, ended up going into the workforce rather than continuing through college. That was very heavily frowned upon, if you want to be honest with you. Very heavily frowned upon on my family, who were highly educated and went through college, and I did not. But it worked out for me in the end. I'm a freaking coach at Walmart, so I make decent money, and and I've worked my ass off for the last almost 6 years now at that job. So I've made something of myself, I feel like, but that's just besides the point. This T-Rex, I'm pretty sure it was gifted to me by both my step grandfather and my grandmother. And I played with this T-Rex every time I went there. And I had other toys there as well. I don't remember them. I don't remember where they are. I have no clue where they are. I don't remember if I brought them to my dad's house and they got mixed up with all my dinosaur toys, which I don't know. I have no idea where they are. But the T-Rex was the most fondly that I remember. And I normally keep it out of sight just because of the fact that for some reason, like my step grandfather died of cancer back in 2016, I believe. It was 2016. And it was a very hard time for me because it was very hard. I don't want to get into extreme amount of detail, but the T-Rex represents that part of my life for that, because he was one of the smartest people I've ever known. So, and he taught me a lot about space, taught me a lot about even the dinosaur stuff, taught me a lot. He taught me a lot of stuff that I hope to pass on to my daughter one day. So the T-Rex represents stuff like that. So I have so much stuff that has sentimental value, but also crazy stuff like the soap that just holds nothing. But someday, all this stuff that I have, will go to my daughter. That's what I'm hoping for. Every single thing that I have in here, I want it to accumulate value, so that way, when it gains enough value later on in life, I can gift it to her, and if she needs to sell something, she has money. She will never be in a situation where her parents will not have money for her to live. So if something happens, if something happens ever to where, oh my gosh, I need money like now because I'm not going to make rent, I'm not going to make my house payment. You have a Yu-Gi-Oh card over here that's worth, $1,200. So I don't know how much it's going to be worth for the next 20, 30 years. But it has value. Stuff has value. It can sell. You can sell this stuff for you if you need it. And that's just my main thing. These are sentimental items, so this is different. This is much different, which I got more sentimental values as well. So, and I'm getting to those. So this has sentimental value, and so does that. So these two will be definitely pushed. I had one other thing that has sentimental value, because my aunt who gave it to me, she also passed away from cancer just a couple months ago. And it was a Beanie Baby bear in a plastic box. And I guess she gave me that when I was born for my birthday. And I gifted it to my daughter when she was born. When we got back home from the hospital, I wrote a note on it. Happy birthday, Ellie. Daddy loves you. And I put it on her dresser. So it's now hers. And I put it over top of the note that my aunt wrote. And in my mind, she can pass it on to her next kid, or if my daughter decides to have kids when she gets older, and do the same thing. Just keep pasting the paper on top of the paper to where it's just going to be notes galore from past people. So, my note will be there, my aunt's note will be there, my daughter's note will be there, and then hopefully later on down the life, their notes will be there. Her daughter's notes, her granddaughter's notes, her great-granddaughter's notes will be there, just continuously down the line. And it all started from an aunt. So there's a bunch of sentimental value stuff, but let's move on to some more sentimental values. All right. So this is probably, well, after looking around, it's probably gonna be the last thing that I show for today. Besides, like, because I have the stuff on my computer. My computer is definitely a sentimental value item because it's the first computer I ever built, and it's worked wonderfully ever since I did it, and it's probably one of the best things I ever decided to do. But this is hands down probably, this is the best for last. This is probably the best thing that I'll receive, and probably the best thing that I'll keep near and dear to me forever. So this was gifted to me by, well, my fiance and my daughter last year. So my birthday is in June, at the end of June. My daughter's birthday is at the beginning of June. So she was born June 3rd of last year, and my birthday is at June 26th. So 23 days apart. So my fiance went and made this for me for my birthday last year, and it's probably the best thing I'm ever going to receive. I'm not good at expressing like my feelings in words. Like, I'm just not good at expressing my feelings at all personally, and I hate to admit it. Like, I have to be in the right mood to express my feelings half the time, but and I didn't tell her, and this is probably like, if she watches this is probably like my telling of, this is the best thing I've ever received. Yeah. And this is probably, until later on, if she gives me something else like magically wonderful, but just knowing that I'll have this set up in every single game room that I have, that if we ever move out of here, like we've been renting the same place for almost 3 years now, but if we ever move out and get our own place, this will forever be hung up where I can see it every single day. So every day I come in here, every time I come in here, this hangs up on my shelf up here at the top. And this is one of the first things I see when I come in this room every day. It sits up there, and I hang it on the bookshelf, so that way it's the first thing I see when I come in here. And yeah, that's the best thing I've ever received. That's probably the highlight of my stuff. So on top of that, I think after everything is said and done at this point, that is probably some of the best things that I have in here. That's either a value, sentimental value, literally everything that I have that I find extremely valuable in my collection. Now, in my eyes, everything is valuable in here. I love everything that I have in here, but those are just some of my most beloved things, of some stuff that I can't believe I have, or I've gotten for the first time, stuff like that. Because I have boo hockey amounts of Lego boxes. I have like, I think there's like maybe 10 over here on the right. All right, I didn't want to show it because like it's so massive. Like, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 boxes right here next to my computer desk of Legos, including, there's like 4 more in there. I have the big black Millennium Falcon, the 2 ones from the Ahsoka show. The rest of the Daily Bugle set I have yet to finish. That's sitting right there. So I have a bunch of Legos as well. But on top of that, I just wanted to go over this stuff. I thought it'd be kind of fun to just show inside of my life a little bit, just showing stuff, in my room a little bit. Because I thought about going through every single item that I have, but I knew it was going to take long. Like, this video right now, it's at 59 minutes, which is probably not going to be like that when the video goes live. But I think that I have too much stuff. That's probably a very obvious thing, but there's also so much stuff in here that I have that holds so much value and to my heart, and that's very, very dear to me, and stuff that I enjoy collecting, and stuff that I never had as a kid that I have the ability to have now, which is what I'm very thankful for that. And I'm very thankful to be able to have all this stuff. Like Gold XLR, for instance, the soundboard, which I'll lift it up. I've always wanted one. Never in my lifetime thought I'd get one. It's amazing to me. Like I've gone so far in my life, and I'm at this point where I can get stuff for myself and, you know, for my family and stuff in this life. So it's very, very amazing. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next Zacextra video. Goodbye.